Imagine placing a single positive charge near a massive grounded metal plate. Instantly, the plate's electrons shift, creating an induced electric field that seems impossible to calculate. To find the total field at any point, you would normally have to integrate the contribution of every single moving electron across that infinite surface. But there is a geometric shortcut that feels like cheating. We can ignore the plate entirely and replace it with a ghost. Why does this imaginary ghost particle perfectly mimic the behavior of a solid metal wall? The core of the problem lies in the boundary conditions of the system. In a conductor, electrons move freely until they reach a state of electrostatic equilibrium. This means that on the surface of our grounded plate, the electric potential V must be exactly zero. Any field line coming from our real charge must hit the plate at a perfectly perpendicular angle. Solving Laplace's equation for the empty space above the plate is a computational nightmare because to find the field, we need to know the surface charge density of the electrons, which is exactly what we are trying to find. We are trapped in a loop where the field depends on the surface charge and the surface charge depends on the field. What if there was a way to satisfy that V equals zero condition without ever calculating the surface charge density first? This is where the method of images enters. Think about the perfect symmetry of a reflection. If you place a positive charge plus q at a distance d above an infinite grounded plane, the geometry suggests a mirror image. If we remove the metal plate and instead place an imaginary negative charge minus q at a distance d on the opposite side of the boundary, something remarkable happens. At every single point where the plate used to be, the potential from the real charge and the potential from the image charge cancel each other out perfectly. By replacing a complex physical object with a single point of symmetry, we have simplified the math by orders of magnitude. But can we really trust that this imaginary setup describes the real physical world? To understand why this works, consider the everyday experience of looking into a bathroom mirror. When you see a light bulb reflected in the glass, your eyes perceive light as if it were coming from a second bulb located behind the wall. You do not need to calculate the complex interaction of photons hitting every atom of the silver backing. You simply treat the reflection as a real source of light in a virtual space. In electrostatics, the grounded plate acts as that mirror. The induced electrons on the surface rearrange themselves specifically to reflect the field of the real charge. The question is, does this reflection provide the only possible answer, or are we missing other potential solutions? The mathematical justification comes from the Uniqueness Theorem. This theorem states that if you find a solution to Laplace's equation that satisfies your specific boundary conditions, then that solution is the only one that exists in nature. It does not matter how you found it, whether through rigorous integration or by simply guessing the location of an image charge. Because our two-charge system creates a V equals zero plane exactly where the metal plate was, the physics of the region above the plate must be identical in both cases. We have successfully traded a complex surface integral for a simple vector sum, and as a bonus, we can now use this ghost setup to easily calculate the real surface charge density that seemed impossible before. But how does this translate into the actual physical force pulling on our charge? The force felt by our real charge plus q is now trivial to calculate using Coulomb's law.
Instead of summing the forces from a distributed sheet of billions of electrons, we simply calculate the attraction between plus q and its image minus q. Since the distance between them is 2d, the force is F equals 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught times q squared over 4d squared, directed straight toward the plate. This force is real and measurable. If you move the charge, the ghost moves with it, always maintaining that perfect symmetry. This leads to a curious consequence. As the charge gets closer to the plate, the force increases, following an inverse square law relative to its own reflection. But what happens to the energy of the system when we consider this virtual particle? You might assume the energy of the system is just the potential energy between two charges, but there is a specific catch. In the image setup, we have two real charges, but in the physical setup, we only have one charge and a metal plate. The total work required to bring the charge plus q from infinity to distance d is actually exactly half of what you would expect from the two-charge model. This is because the image charge is not real. It is a mathematical representation of the work done by the redistributing surface charges as they move. The field lines in the top half of the universe are identical, but the energy stored in those fields is different because the field inside the conductor is zero.
This trick works perfectly for flat planes, but what if the mirror is curved? If we replace the flat plate with a grounded conducting sphere of radius r, the symmetry becomes more complex. We can no longer just place an equal and opposite charge at an equal distance. To keep the potential V equals 0 on the surface of the sphere, we have to scale both the magnitude and the position of the image charge. We place an image charge q prime equals minus r over d times q at a distance r prime equals r squared over d from the center of the sphere. Even though the geometry has changed from linear to spherical, the logic remains the same. Find a configuration of point charges that makes the boundary surface an equipotential. This geometric transformation is the foundation for solving shielding problems in electronics. How do these abstract ghosts affect the technology we use every day? We see the method of images in action whenever we deal with radio antennas or lightning rods. A vertical antenna placed above a conductive ground plane acts like a dipole because the ground creates an image antenna beneath the surface. This effectively doubles the length of the antenna and changes its radiation pattern, allowing signals to travel much further across the horizon. Similarly, when a charged cloud passes over a lightning rod, we model the resulting intense electric fields by imagining an image cloud beneath the Earth to predict exactly where the air will break down. We have mastered the art of using symmetry to solve the field around specific shapes, but what happens when the boundary isn't a neat plane or a sphere? The method of images is a powerful tool, but it only works when the geometry is symmetric enough to guess where the ghost charges live. In the real world, boundaries are often irregular, jagged, or interconnected in ways that make simple reflections impossible. When symmetry fails, we can no longer rely on point charge tricks. We need a more universal framework that can handle any boundary shape by looking at the fundamental properties of the space itself. To understand how we solve the field when there is no mirror to help us, you must click on the next video about Laplace's equation, how boundaries solve the impossible field.